Welcome back to Phantom and Friends. And my friend today, I'm Caroline and I'm a Phantom friend. My friend today is a gentleman who has avoided me for about 10 years. No, you have.
That's a very bold accusation, first of all.
You know, let me put it this way. This is Mutua Matheka. Mutua Matheka is photographer extraordinaire. There are people who own cameras and then they're photographers.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
And I've heard it said that before the camera lens sees the picture, your eye sees it first.
Yes.
And you've got like 10 eyes.
Yeah.
You do.
That's more like a fly.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Where have you been?
I've been around, There's been a lot happening.
I stalk you on social media, so
happening.
I know.
Yeah, life, kind of moves. Things that were important sometimes reduce their importance, then other things pick up importance.
True. Life is seasons.
Life is seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you've had quite a number of seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know why I know it was almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to you by a lady called Saiton.
Yes.
And she wasn't even married then.
Yeah. Wasn't even anywhere near.
Yes. So easily 10 years ago.
No, for sure. Yeah, about 10. That would make it like, 2012, 13?
Easily.
Yeah.
And I remember why you were wow is that demographic in a Saiton were like, there's some people taking amazing shots of Nairobi. And I remember when I saw, but you've come a long way. So tell me, that camera used to be a what?
Gosh, can I even remember what was?
No, that was
back
your first
then.
love.
Yeah, that was my first camera.
Uh-huh.
And believe me, that camera, we went through a lot. I don't even know where it is anymore. It was a Nikon, a D40. It's not even it hasn't been in production for more than 8 years.
That's how I know I met you 10 years ago.
Like they stopped. You can't even find it anymore. And life has changed a lot.
Yes.
Technology has changed. I have changed.
You have changed.
The city has changed since.
Actually, I before he sat down, I started telling him, the pictures we can buy off your site
are outdated.
Totally. Let me tell you how outdated they are. However, what?
Some could say.
What?
That some are classic.
And yes, there will always be those. And I'm very happy I bought, because I'm able to say, oh my goodness. When I was told I was going to be talking to you, I said, I know that guy. I haven't seen him in 10 years, but I know him.
Yeah.
But then to look at your work and then say, oh dear Mutua, your Skyline of Nairobi does not have one Africa Place.
Yeah.
Your Skyline of Nairobi does not have GTC.
Yeah.
Your Skyline of Nairobi does not have the expressway.
It does not have the expressway.
Your Skyline, I don't think, has the Brigham Tower.
No, it doesn't even have that building, the one for the parliamentarians.
Yes.
Doesn't have that.
Doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you probably have that is, oh my God, that's so cool, is Rahamtula.
That's also part of the changes. Like when I was very serious about shooting the city.
Yes.
And doing it often. I do it at least once a month. Mm-hmm. And just documenting the changes. And that's because I still believe in being able to look at the skylines of Nairobi and being like, now we know some of the changes, because you can look at the picture that I have.
May I want my 2023 editions?
I know. I need to get back and do that, because I think that's what I found interesting about shooting so often, is that you can look at this and be like, oh my gosh, this is 2010 and this is the same place 2023, and look at how much the skyline has changed. And that has always been my goal, to kind of just show the evolution of African cities.
So since you're not shooting Nairobi, what are you doing?
I am traveling. I'm taking care of babies. I am, getting into projects that are more...
I have 2. How many do you have?
2.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm doing... I've found myself being drawn more into... I have no other thing to call it, but emotional photography.
Oh, really?
Like photography that comes more from... fed by my emotions than not. And not to say that I'm not doing the buildings anymore. I just found something else, I think, over the pandemic. Something that is more inward and expressive of something that's inside.
Wow.
So, yeah, just drawing from emotions now other than drawing from what already exists.
But Nairobi's still Bay.
Absolutely.
And because Nairobi's Bay,
it has to be.
It is
always,
emotional.
always go back to that, because that is a mission that never changes. It's just the evolution just adds something else. And now what I'm curious about is now going back into shooting the city while even drawing from somewhere else. Like before, it was just a thing of looking at it and just shooting the buildings that they are. But now it will be interesting to kind of go back now when you're older and you're seeing things more
differently.
Exactly.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Much
It's like it's not just a building anymore. Now you're starting to see more, a bit more than what it is. You're starting to see the personality more.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That means in 10 years, I have morphed, you have morphed.
Yeah.
We now look after babies.
Yeah.
We travel more.
Yeah.
I also do work outside.
Yeah.
The city has moved.
Yeah.
And so has tech. Tell me, even before we talk about my friend here, tell me what has changed in how you do photography since the Nikon what?
Yeah. We'll not even talk about it. The thing that I find interesting is how technology kind of democratizes art.
Yes.
It puts us all kind of on a level field.
Completely.
And when everyone feels like they are similar, then who stands out?
The best.
What stands out?
Yes.
It becomes that the tool that has to have the importance doesn't become
Everything.
the physical tool, but becomes the brain.
Yes.
And so
How
again,
you use the tool.
exactly. Again, the unique thing about what we create becomes your experiences as a human, how you see the world,
Yes.
what you've been through, and how to use that as a lens to which you see the world. In that case, the technology now becomes you're not a slave to the technology,
No.
but the technology becomes a slave to you,
Yes.
and a way to morph things that are inside you to be seen. And I think that's where we are now.
Yeah.
It has become more than the person with the best camera has the best pictures.
Has the best pictures, yes.
It's now more, you don't have to have the best camera because they're all nice, they're all amazing. Wow. Like it doesn't matter, the difference between 100,000 camera and a 500,000 camera is so little. It's just nuances, it's just preferences.
So the question is how you use it.
Now it becomes how you use it.
I love the way you said democratized art, because it took me back to December 2022. We land in Dubai and we land at night, and my 4-year-old, he was going to turn 5, my 4-year-old says, I need to take pictures for Babu.
Yeah.
And he can.
Yeah.
And he took some good ones. You know?
Yeah.
He's 4.
Yeah. And you see, this is the amazing thing, that a child who's 4 can start from a place where they're not too discouraged.
Yeah.
Because they will improve. Like, we don't need to worry about that. Eventually, like something that makes it simpler for them to take pictures will make them get used to now getting the novelty out of the way and now start using their brain more. So it's no longer the excitement of, ooh, I pressed this and the picture came out.
Yes.
Now it starts becoming, okay, but what if I fit the buildings better? What if I move back? What if I use the wide angle because I want to show Babu everything?
Oh gosh.
What if I now use the portrait mode because I want to capture just you?
You've gone into the zone, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've gone into the zone.
Yes.
What were your first impressions when you saw this, other than the color? I mean, I think until launch, I was the only person with the Mars orange.
First of all, the color is gorgeous. Number 2, the lenses, the huge ones.
Yes.
Absolutely
Your heart went.
beautiful. Like just the way they look looks really
It
good.
looks really good.
It looks really good. Looks slick.
really-
Looks.
Yeah.
It has the thing.
Yeah.
At least it stands out.
Uh-huh.
And then now you become curious to pick it up. For me, the most interesting thing. I mean, now I'm going inside.
Yeah.
Should I
told you,
wait?
You are in the go in. You are in the zone. Go.
For me, feature-wise, the most interesting things was the 50 megapixel camera.
I know.
Because then, not because pixels are better, because it just gives me so much more data to work with when I'm shooting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I remember the first
So it's not
time,
just a big picture.
You know, when we're doing the photo shoot. You remember this one?
Yes.
And I remember at some point I said, let me try this camera. And sadly, it was on selfie mode. And I was like, I can see my pores. I was horrified. I was like, I have never seen anything like that. Because, you know, it was one of those things like, whoa.
What is happening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and every time I give it to somebody, or, you know, we're at a function and I am taking pictures and I'm
Yeah.
like, I think you guys should see mine. And then everybody does this, looks at their phone and says, let's use yours.
Let's see.
Let's use yours. And I love it. Because all
And
of a
it's just
sudden,
like, yeah.
let's
use mine.
Let's
Yeah.
let's use mine.
Yeah.
The pictures will be better.
I'll forward you pictures after.
And okay, you know, in the I love the way you were talking about things change, seasons change, and yes, it's been 10 years, but the Phantom X2 and probably whatever it is you were using 10 years ago. Have you seen some of the pictures we took 10 years ago on a phone? What was that?
Like, let me tell you,
Uh-huh.
I can't even look at those and not laugh. Like, it's
know.
actually, it's comedy.
We even look distorted.
Like, everything just looked blurry off the bat.
Thank you. And yet we thought it was cool.
Of course.
It's
Because
all
we didn't know
knew.
better. It's all
That's
we
all
knew.
we
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, see all that has changed. It's like now we just have access to better.
I know. And for me, I remember the first time I was giving feedback on the phone, and I said, does that lens, does it actually retract? I mean, I'm sure as a person who owns a camera, you must have said, go away.
No, they did show at the shoot when I was shooting Eliud.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, you know, the lens actually pops out. And I was like, what do you
Yeah.
mean pops out?
Oh, really? You didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
Sorry, you dropped that rather casually. You shot Eliud.
Yes.
You never shot me.
I mean,
But then again, I've never run a marathon in under 2 hours.
this is also true.
Okay.
It was like, this was a great moment in my life. Like, I found out maybe 3 days before.
Uh-huh.
And I had to do all my fangirling. I was like, I can't embarrass myself
No,
on the
no,
shoot.
you can't.
I have to be professional. So let me do all this before.
You're
The
like,
3 days in my house, I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to meet him.
Wow.
And then by the time the shoot was coming, I was like,
You were calm. That
No.
means when they told you, you know the lens goes, and you're like,
yeah, I was like,
yeah, right.
very interesting, but I need to see that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I literally saw the phone for the first time that day at the shoot.
You met
Yeah.
the Phantom X2 and Eliud
Yeah,
on the same day.
on the same day.
Ulilalaj. Wow.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do is have him sign my Kenya marathon jacket.
You have one?
Yeah, I wore it for the shoot. I was like, I'm going to meet Eliud. Of course, I'm wearing my Kenya team marathon.
Jacket.
Yeah.
And then?
No, I mean, we didn't make a big deal out of it. You have to play it cool.
Okay.
Can't be like, do you see what I'm wearing? But of course, I bought it because of him.
Of course.
Of course.
So finally, when the lens popped out, what did you think?
It popped, and then, you know, it was at the shoot, and I was like, okay, wait. First of all, that's very cool. I need to know what it does,
Yes.
but I don't have time now to do that. We're in the middle of
Eliud.
a shoot.
Yes.
This is professional. If I get into that,
Uh-huh.
I might.
You might lose
Yes,
yourself.
because that's what I do. I just disappear quickly into a rabbit hole. And so, focused on the shoot. Came to try it on later, now when I had my own
Yes.
in my house. And now the thing that I'm looking forward to, because I will now set up proper shoots with this phone and get out and do.
And
I have
do
many
stuff.
ideas. I have many ideas, and for me, it's always a thing of saying, because I've always told people, well, not me. There's this quote. It's a photography quote that the best camera is the one that you have with you.
Whoa, is it?
In many ways, yeah, because it doesn't matter what the best camera is if you don't have it at that time.
This is also true.
Like if something is happening there,
The best camera is the one
you have. If you're a news, and I think this was from the news reporting days.
Of course.
If you're shooting an event or something, or
Yes.
there's news in front of you, it doesn't matter that your camera is at home.
Yes.
It might be the $10,000 camera. It does not matter.
The best one is
The
the one
image
you
that
got.
will make the news
Is
is
that
the
one.
one that is shot at that time.
I got
And it
you.
doesn't matter if it's shot on a phone or on whatever.
Wow.
And so one of the things is I find so many people who are starting out in photography or interested are always trying to be like, oh my gosh, I need to get that camera that Mutua uses. I need to get that camera that I've seen. And I'm always like, but what phone do you have? And they say, I have this.
Yeah.
I'm
use
like,
it.
that's what you need to start with.
Yes.
The only thing limiting you is your ideas, is your head. If you have the good ideas, I think you can do anything. And so that's what I want to do. That's what I want to show.
That's what you want to show.
Yeah.
That the best camera is the one you got.
Yeah.
So on a scale of it's a bust worth a look at or a no-brainer, where do you rank the Phantom X2?
On a scale of what to what?
Is it a bust, worth a look, a no-brainer?
It's definitely above worth a look and approaching no-brainer.
Okay.
I think it's a fantastic camera.
It is.
I think there's a lot that can be done with it, and especially if you know
What to do.
what to do.
Yeah.
With everything, is like you understand where it gets to, and you understand the limitations, and you're
Good to go.
You're good because you know where to push it up to, and you know what you need to do to push it even further.
Now, because I know it might take another 10 years, I want my new skyline of Nairobi. So, by the way, I'm going to look into this camera and say, he told me, I'm talking to the governor of Nairobi, that shooting in Nairobi is still a hustle. Because you might say it's okay, but apparently, kwa ground, between you different. We just need a letter. Mutua has to do the skyline of Nairobi again. Because if you go to his website, Nairobi looks a little ancient.
This is true. I mean, yeah.
No, I need to give you a deadline.
I mean, my argument is that it looks classic Nairobi.
It's beautiful, but come on. Are you telling
However-
me sometimes you don't look at the city and like, I gotta shoot this down?
No, I say that almost every week. But
And
then I'm like,
Alafu
am I
nitasumbuliwa.
ready? Am I ready for
Nitasumbuliwa.
all the drama? Now I'm a much older person. Like I could do all of these runarounds in my 20s. Now, surely.
Surely no.
If I'm sitting in a jail cell for 4 hours, that's time that is so useful to me.
All because you wanted to catch
Just
a
because
nice
I
picture.
wanted to, yeah, and the pictures are not just benefiting me. That's what I don't understand.
I know!
I'm like, there's so many people who see my pictures and they're like, oh my gosh, we're coming to Nairobi.
I know.
And I'm like, see?
Governor,
See?
we just need a new look.
Like it benefits everybody.
It does. I've gifted Nairobi to so many people around the continent because they come to Nairobi and they love it, and I'm like, here's something for you.
Yeah.
And I know a very prominent lawyer in Kampala who's got Nairobi hanging in his office. Not Kampala, Nairobi.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should. As they should. So I'm giving you until July 2023. If we don't
That's
have
a good-
new
that's a
pictures
good
from
deadline.
Mutua Matheka of this amazing city, preferably shot, yes, by this amazing item,
This will be involved in some of the pictures that I'm taking.
just tag me
Yeah.
and tell me, Ako Kajama. As simple as that.
Wow, also-
Governor, we need a letter so that when he's out there, I mean, we know it's free, but qua ground, things are different.
Yeah.
Yes. And actually, with this amazing IG page he has put out, the
Yeah.
more content we have of Nairobi, the better.
This is, listen, you're preaching to the choir.
Okay, yes, I am.
It's like we are co-preachers on this thing. I'm just like, exactly.
The
This is
more
exactly what I'm
pictures you
saying.
have of a
It's like there
city,
can
the
be
better.
there can be too many.
There can never be too many
There can
pictures
never
of
be too
Nairobi.
many. And the thing is, because before they used to say, it's a security thing. And I used to say, in that
Ain't
case,
nobody taking pictures of the State House.
like the most photographed cities then should be the most
Yes.
attacked.
Yes.
But No.
No.
So really, that's not an excuse anymore.
It's not an excuse
like now,
anymore.
let's go beyond. Let's just,
Let's do better.
let's do better.
Okay? So,
Let's do better.
and it will not take 10 years.
No, it won't take 10 years.
Yeah?
This year I've got psych.
Oh, you need to get into the zone.
I do, actually. It's been enough years that I'm like, when Sakaja got in and he made those announcements, I was like, okay, I'm excited. I haven't been out yet. I need to find out from people that have how it is.
Yeah, how it is out there.
Yeah.
Because, he says he can't run around after Kajo and Pops. He can't.
Just because where I am in life,
Also,
some risks
no,
are necessary.
because you no longer belong to yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Like there's absolutely no need. If anything goes extremely wrong, like nitaambia nini watu?
You know? Because wawili wadogo.
That nilikuwa tu napiga picha.
Imagine. That you do not need.
Yeah.
And that brings an end to this particular episode of Phantom and Friends. Mutua Matheka is an amazing friend and he loves Nairobi. So let's make sure that he can capture Nairobi and capture it beautifully with the Phantom X. See ya.